Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. I am so excited to share this build with y'all today because if you notice by the thumbnail or the title, we're building a rundown ranch today. And I'm actually really excited because I wasn't planning for it to be, but this ended up being a starter home too. So I feel like this would be really nice for maybe not necessarily rags to riches, but still starting off with like your base funds and building up from there, because you can purchase this home right away out of Create a Sim and live in it, but it's a disaster. It is such a mess, and I think it'd be a really fun one to renovate. So if that's something you'd like to do, I would love to see it. Please tag me on Twitter or whatever social media. Those are all linked down below. I'm Gryphi on Twitter and here and Twitch, and Miss Gryphi on Instagram and TikTok. And so check those all out if you have not already. But basically, I had some suggestions to build like a rundown, destroyed ranch that would be good to fix up. And these are some of my favorite builds to do. I've always said when I have asked like what my favorite builds I've done are like I did a junkyard at one point. I've done like some pawn shops, like really cluttered, messy spaces are my favorite. So this idea was immediately a yes from me. And I'm so glad that I saw that suggestion and did it, and I hope you will all like it as well. If you do and you'd like to download it, it will be available in the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and I will make sure to have all that information in the description down below as well. I do want to mention I did not limit packs here. I am using a lot of the new Horse Ranch pack, but I used a whole bunch of stuff from other packs because we have a bunch of like trash and like broken down cars, and like the fencing that I'm using on the front that's more distressed, as well as the roofing. Those are both from the Werewolves pack. I thought that they were perfect, like metal with holes in it, so you get some light coming in on the inside, like the broken roof, which I thought was quite fun. And we're starting off on this really small lot here, but I'm actually going to be moving it to a bigger lot because I wanted to add more, and I didn't want it to just be a little house. I wanted there to be space for if you wanted to fix it up and actually have a horse and like run a full ranch. So I was quickly realizing this small lot was not big enough, but I do really like this lot at the same time. I'm probably going to be building a lot in Chestnut Ridge over the coming weeks because I just think it's really pretty here. And mostly what I've done so far is more like rustic buildings and ranches and stuff because that's what this world calls for. But I think sometime soon I might do something modern because I love building modern homes in areas that they don't look like they fit, because I just think that it looks so interesting. The like juxtaposition of those two contrasting things. So I think I will probably do that sometime soon. If you have any ideas, do let me know. I also wanted to say thank you for all of the support earlier this week on my Barbie dream house build. I had so much fun with that, and I've seen your suggestions to do like a Barbie ranch or something like that as well. So we will probably do that. I'm not entirely sure how I want to approach that. So once again, if you have any ideas, I love reading your suggestions. That's how a lot of builds come to be, this one in particular. So anyway, right now I'm just adding some more junk around the yard. The tub and the mattress and stuff, those are all from Eco Lifestyle. I believe that's also where the dresser that I have out front is. This big broken down truck, we have a couple of broken down cars that we got in debug with Strangerville, I think. But this one came in Horse Ranch and it's just perfect. So I had to add it out here. I believe I get one of the Strangerville ones a little bit later though, because I wanted to have a couple of them on the lot once I move to a bigger lot, because I'm quickly filling up this space and we pretty much finish most, if not all of the outside before we head inside. So it's going to be a while before we get to the inside. Plus, there's not a whole lot in there because once I realized I was close to a starter home budget, I decided I wanted to stay in there so it would be way more playable that way. So a combination of wanting to stay under a budget and keeping it pretty sparse and run down and destroyed. It doesn't have a lot of items on the inside, and most of the ones on the outside are free anyway, since they are primarily from live edit objects and debug. So yeah, messing around with some of the swatches here, adding some little bits of fencing just to make it look like there used to be a fence here that's kind of broken down and sort of make a spot for this property to look like it's intentionally there. I also really liked the broken down fences that are more of a grayish brown swatch over on the right side of the lot. I thought they were so pretty. And the lights I used throughout this build are from the Laundry Day pack, just like the single light bulb hanging down. I thought that was quite nice, but I just deleted the ceiling in there so that the window in the roof line is actually looking into the build. And I added a couple of these little decals on the outside of the build to make it look like some of the stuff has gotten damaged. I know technically these logs wouldn't look like that with that sort of decal, But I was just trying to find how to make them look damaged, and that was the best I felt like I could do. So I got that and a couple of other decals, and I'll be adding more. But we have moved on to a bigger lot now, and we have so much more space to work with. So I'm just grabbing all sorts of stuff from Live Edit. We have that little like overhead piece that is where I'm going to put the horse stable. It's like a single stable. And we're going to play around with the fencing and stuff in here quite a bit. And I grabbed like some water towers and trees and plants, and there's going to be so much on this lot, and we'll play around with the colors. And ultimately, I think it came out so cool. I wish I had some more ideas for some more rundown builds like this, because I love doing them so much. I think that you can add so much detail to them, and the landscaping is so fun. So hopefully I'll come up with some ideas for those in the future. And honestly, just going through the new Live Edit objects, I feel like I have so many ideas for future builds anyway. That's always the most exciting part for me with getting new packs, is getting inspired by the new items. So I'm very excited to get some more builds going. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. But anyway, adding some more grasses all around. I like these like clumps that are more 3D of grass, these broken branches, and just all sorts of flowers. You can really start to see it coming together here. I do a bunch of terrain paint here. Most of this area that this lot is located on is just like sand. But I decided to add a little bit of green to add some variety. Plus, this whole world is like a mixture of the two, so I thought it made sense. And then there would be like some green for the horses, and then it looking more overgrown. Just it felt right. So I also ended up adding these like stone pieces in the front of the lot. These are somewhere in the world. They're like broken pieces, and I thought combining that with some of the broken fencing would look really cool around the perimeter, so that it looked like it used to have like a proper entrance, but it's broken down over time. It really added to that rundown feeling I was going for. And then we're just getting some more of these greenery pieces. I keep looking at that red bridge. I just think it is so perfect for a Beetlejuice build, and I'm probably going to do that come October, because that's always been like my favorite movie of all time. And now we're getting a Beetlejuice too, and I'm very, very excited about it. So be on the lookout later this year for a Beetlejuice build. I always do lots of like Halloween things around October on the channel, so that should be fun. But here I am kind of extending this pathway, but not as full. I wanted it to be like more broken down further out where there was more overgrowth of all the plants and stuff. So I will be kind of filling in those gaps with greenery, or I guess it's more like brown, most of it. I also really liked this little well. It's kind of hard to tell that's what it is, but it's a well that's like overgrown with plants. And then I added some more grasses over by the edge of the lot, and we're just getting more and more greenery absolutely everywhere. I know it's a little bit repetitive, all the landscaping, but let me know if you'd like this, because I could definitely do more of these. I just know it's a ton of landscaping, but this is the other car I grabbed. That one is from Strangerville, as I had mentioned. And then we're just continuing to grab some more plants. I wanted to have some more of these sorts of plants around, not just like grasses. So I was trying to figure out the right combination of adding those around, since those are also in the surrounding world. And I also wanted to have a good amount of rocks just scattered around as well. So I should be grabbing some more of those. But first we're getting this really broken fence, which I think is quite fun. It doesn't really quite like fit together. And it's a really cool asset. I also wanted to add a horse jump on this lot, since I did want this to be like a functional space. So I just have it kind of tucked around over there. And I picked one that looked a little bit more like thrown together so that it looks older. And I just think this is going to be a really fun lot to play on. I have not play tested it with a horse yet, but I have with a human, and they can access everything just fine. But I don't anticipate there would be any problem with horses, as I made sure like you could get to all of the areas, and most live edit things don't have a footprint, so your Sims can just walk right through them. So it shouldn't be an issue, but if it is, I can fix that, or I'll probably play test it with a horse before I upload this to the gallery. I was just having a blast, like going to town with this. It was one of those builds where I had the idea to start because I got a suggestion for it, and I couldn't stop building. I just sat there and was like grinning at my screen. I love those builds. Every once in a while I get one of those, and it's usually something like this that's either overly cluttered or overly messy, and they're just so much fun for me. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I do like to build like perfect Sims houses occasionally. I mean, I just did that Barbie build, so that one felt like more like put together, but this one is very much the opposite of that. I also wanted to add a place to do some like planting of stuff, so I added some of these garden plots over here from the cottage living pack. I put them on like an angle so they didn't look so perfect and pristine, and I rotated a couple of them as well. It was a little wonky because of the angle I put them on, so I'm just rearranging those with the Alt key, and then I put a broken down fence around them. This is from the debug or the live edit from Cottage Living. And I just think it adds a lot of like more storyline and personality to the idea of this little broken down area. And they feel less random having a little fence around them. So I was glad that I found these. So I thought that looked nice. And of course, getting some more grass around, trying to make everything look intentional and overgrown. And you can see just how busy this lot has gotten. I am so glad that I moved it to a bigger lot. If I had left it on the small lot, I still would have thought it looked cute. I was pretty happy with it, but I love it now that it's on a bigger lot and has so much more stuff going on. But anyway, moving to the interior now, trying to figure out where I'm going to have everything. You basically walk into the kitchen and then through this little hall space, there's going to be a bathroom in the middle, bedroom in the back, and the living room in the front. So I'm just going to move the bathroom so it's more centered between those two because I thought it would be better to have a bigger living room than bedroom, but there's still space for a bedroom. And I used the dumpster bed from Eco Lifestyle in here because it's only like 25 or 50 simoleons. It's really cheap. And it looks like a rundown air mattress. So I thought that made sense for here. But I did use quite a few cabinets in the kitchen or quite a few countertops because I just thought they looked nice and we could afford them. And at this point, I wasn't really thinking about a budget. It was just shortly after this, I realized I could probably keep it within a budget. So I kept to that. But I just got some usable appliances. I didn't want to use the broken ones. I sometimes do that, the debug ones in like rundown spaces. There's a couple from Eco Lifestyle Live Edit that is like a fridge without a door or an oven without a door or things like that, but they don't function. They're just decorative items. So I really wanted to make sure that the ones that I had in here you could actually use. Since I was going with that whole starter budget idea, you can move right in. It's just kind of a mess. So I quite enjoyed that. I did get lots of scuffs and stuff on the floors and on the walls. I added that like old newspaper there. I think it's supposed to look like there's dog pee on it because that came from Cats and Dogs, but I was thinking the sink was leaking. I thought that was a fun idea. I just placed down that bed and then we are in the living room and I really wanted to use this new chair that we got. I think it is so pretty. I love it so much. It reminds me of a lot of the blankets that I had growing up. I've talked about this briefly in a video before, but my family has Native American roots and my mom is so proud of that. And we had so much stuff throughout our house. So all of this stuff looks so familiar to me and I really liked it. This couch is actually from the Spooky Day stuff pack. It has like a tattered cover over it. So I thought that made sense for an abandoned little place. I also got this broken table from the basement kit and those sheets that are all torn up are from Werewolves. I just think these items all worked so nicely together. I was really proud of it and really happy with how well it just kind of flew together like this. I got some like more storage over here. We have like some crates and buckets and I also got some like wine and stuff over here. I just thought it looked like nice clutter to have kind of thrown about. At some point, I'm assuming somebody was staying here. So having some items around makes sense. I also put an old TV in here and then we're just getting more trash all around. Going through the stuff from Eco Lifestyle to really get all of the garbage we could possibly can. I didn't want it to not be I wanted your Sims to be able to navigate the space. So it's not like every inch of this home is covered. I just have a lot of it around and I'm trying to find something to put on the wall over here. I really wanted to put something and I ended up going with this tapestry from Jungle Adventure. I think it's really pretty. And then we just get a couple of cabinets up on the wall here. I really like the shorter one that I put over the stove. I love how you could probably use that for a lot of different things, not just in the kitchen, because it's so it's so simple. It doesn't necessarily have kitchen items in it, so you could use it anywhere. And then I just got some random clutter in here. We have some like different pottery things, or not pottery. I mean, they're pots, but things for planting plants. So I have a bunch of pots over there. We also have utensils for the kitchen, some sprays and stuff. And then I'm getting some more of these like cracks and tears and stuff on the wall. Like I said, they don't necessarily make sense with this type of walls, like these log walls. But I thought it still got the point across of the place being a little bit torn up and destroyed. So I was quite happy with that. And then we're just getting some more items in the bedroom, trying to make everything feel as cluttered as the rest. I used those same sheets all over the curtains throughout the entire build. And then I used the shower, or the tub and the sink are made of like chunks of wood. And the tub and the toilet specifically are ones that you can make on the crafting table. And then the sink is from Laundry Day. But I just thought that they looked so good here. I felt like they fit perfectly in this little log cabin that's abandoned. And so everything looks a little bit distressed. And I added some messy towels there, and then we're getting some cobwebs all around, and I added a rug in the bedroom as well. The cobwebs are from the Vampires pack, and it just made sense to me that there would be some of these around since this is supposed to be abandoned. Even if somebody is occasionally coming here and like staying here without anyone knowing about it, I still feel like there would still be cobwebs and tears and stuff. It's a mess. I added this dresser from the Werewolves pack that just looks like some old trunks. So that way you have a functional dresser as well. And then just getting some water damage in the bathroom. And that should be pretty much it for the rest of this build. I just add a lot of that. And I also added a rocking chair out front with some more cobwebs and stains and tears and all of that. I just had so much fun with this build, so I really hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Just adding some more clutter all around from the basement clutter kit, like boxes and chairs and junk absolutely everywhere. And then we will be heading on into screenshots. I love that broken lamp. It's so cool. And I love the effect of it like kind of flickering when you use it. I think the basement clutter kit is such a good one. And then I think the last thing I do here is just add another painting, and I rotate it with tulle so it looks like it's crooked on the wall. And that is actually it now, other than our trash can and our mailbox. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Enjoy the screenshots. Bye, everyone.